watching AYV Television.
Save money, save economic resources for the state, for the government, for the country, for the people.
Then the smuggle fuel going to the other country, then government they subsidize fuel now, then other country then they benefit from it.
Whenever the GST on the electricity,
yes.
And recently the tariffs go up.
Abdul Fonsi na my name. This na the Hard Talk Show Hot Seat, where they come your way from AYVtv on channel 33 and www.ayvnews.com every Thursday starting at 8 p.m. Sunday, 15th October 2017. Two major political parties them na Sierra Leone, when at the SLPP and the APC beget the National Delegates Conference, who side they end up for choose the presidential flag bearers we go take the two parties them to the 2018 elections. Why SLPP choose Julius Maada Bio as the presidential flag bearer? And why APC choose Dr. Samora Kamara as the presidential flag bearer? For to debate this issue, we get Lahai Lawrence Lima from the main opposition Sierra Leone People's Party, and him na the National Publicity Secretary of the party. We also get on the other side the National Deputy Publicity Secretary too of the ruling All People's Congress Party, winner Sidi Yaya Tunis. We can discuss why Samora, why Maada. That's na him we get inside the hot seat debate today. Good afternoon, Lawrence. Good evening, sorry, Lawrence Lima, and welcome to the hot seat.
Good afternoon.
Yeah,
well,
it's okay.
Good evening and good evening, listeners.
And good evening, Sidi Yaya Tunis.
Good evening, Fonty. Thank you.
Let's start with you. Why una choose Samora Kamara?
Well, thank you very much, Fonty. You go agree with me, and as well as the people of this nation, that for the longest time, one question where they at the mouth or the minds of every well-meaning Israelian, now would go carry on the good work where His Excellency the President, Dr. Ernest Bai Koroma, don't start and don't do now this country.
Okay.
That not been the worries and the questions where so many Israelians been asked. So for we as a party, we been get for ensure say we choose somebody, we get the caliber, we get the pedigree, we also get the ability and the capabilities for continue on, for build on the legacies where this president, Dr. Ernest Bai Koroma, don't start now this country, and for continue the good work party don't do.
Okay.
Dr. Samora Kamara, when you hear the name, you know the man, a well-acclaimed Sierra Leonean. When you look at the educational background, of course, highly educated as far as PhD level. When you look at a professional background, it all served for over 40 years in the public service.
Okay.
You know, from financial secretary to bank governor to minister of finance to minister of foreign affairs. In addition to that also, it all served now the international community. Two of the best and the most respected institutions in the world, the Commonwealth and the IMF.
Okay.
You know, and the way we country they go now, Fonty, you gotta agree with me, say, at this point, we don't need to go back. So we get somebody, we understand, one, the geopolitics of our country, two, the economic situation of not only our country, but for the world at large, and then also somebody we're able to combine local politics and international politics.
Okay.
And as it is now, I'm not going to think of a better person than Dr. Samora.
Thank you very much, Sidi Tunis. Lahai Lawrence Lima, why Julius Maada Bio?
Why Julius Maada Bio? A very much necessary law for Sudan at Julius Maada Bio. Julius Maada Bio born on the 29th of May 1964 in a very small village called Tin Subini. From a Mende Paramount chief, we a born a family of the 35 na picking them with the born with 9 women. And out of that 35 picking them, retired Brigadier Julius Maada Bio distinguished himself and actually stand tall. At the point when he finished school, high school education, high school, the Bow School, that was in 1984. He gained admission at Frabe College. Later, he decided to turn down the admission and then decide for join the army for serve the people.
Okay.
And for serve the people of this country, retired Brigadier Julius Maada Bio finding himself first after in training, and military training in one way very rigorous. You can die in the course of training, you die in active service, right? You can be bitten by wild snake or any wild animal in the jungles, especially so the academy will be trained, and they equally so trained. You get a lot of jungle if you get to the Guma jungle and the rest. So if you don't pass through all of them levels, then they enforce deployment area at the Putlok Olunge area. And then from there, they move them to the border areas in Cambia at a period we'll get the economic state of emergency. So man like this, we don't come on, we don't born and heal in the south. It don't work in the northern region. And from there, it also don't work in the eastern region, and it don't work in the western area. It's very much familiar, right, with the political makeup and security makeup of this country, right? And this Julius Maada Bio at a critical moment when this country, right, being really defined and difficult for move from one party rule, where in a dictatorship at a point when people and freedom will be very, very much limited, when all means fail for actually pull the APC government of power. It was retired Brigadier Julius Maada Bio and few others of his colleagues them will take up the honors, the strive for ensure say, then give the people freedom, then give the people the rights, then give the people a change of system and give the people the right for change the government when they're fed up with one. And at a very defining moment, retired Brigadier Julius Maada Bio make a very critical decision for left this country, go to Ghana and develop, come up with a blueprint and spearheaded, right, the democratic transition from military rule to civilian rule. This retired Brigadier Julius Maada Bio is showing the light to peace, to last in peace in this country. And at such period, he was a non-graduate, but if he don't get sufficient leadership skill in the military academy, and as a brigadier, army chief of staff, he don't attend a lot of international conferences in representing the army, and so internationally exposed. This is not the Brigadier Bio, will serve as head of state and deputy chairman also, and left this country and go get sufficient Western education. He get in both education, master's and first degree at the American University, and he gets a lot of other diplomat courses as well, where he don't acquire wealth of knowledge. This is not the retired Brigadier Julius Maada Bio. In 2012, we elect as the presidential candidate for the Sierra Leone People's Party. We gave President Nkrumah a run for his money. This is not the Brigadier Bio, according to Section 35(2) of the National Constitution, where the people of Sierra Leone again, now the SLPP don't decide for Giwi again as a candidate for the 2012.
Thank you very much, Lahai Lawrence Lima. We don't get the introductory remarks from the two panelists them where I get. For tell we where to make the two major political parties in Sierra Leone, APC and SLPP, be decide for Giwi, Samora Kamara and Mr. Julius Maada Bio. Now coming to the debates proper now. City Tunis, you don't attentively listen to the submission where Lahai Lawrence Lima don't make. You go match Maada Bio in records to that of Samora Kamara in records?
The question is, it's not even possible for you match the two records. Because, I mean, you hear where I start. Dr. Samora Kamara, for 40 it don't serve now the public service untainted. No stain, no bad records. You understand? In terms of education, of course, Australian as well, it come from a humble background. Kamalo attend now the south and the western area secondary school, starting college degree, and then of course he proceed abroad with again PhD. You know, when you look at the two records.
But we also get records from Mr. Julius Maada Bio say he don't serve this country to point of life and death.
But you get for understand what's we do now as a country. Dr. Samora Kamara don't serve you talk, financial secretary, all the way to, you know, bank governor, minister, under democratic system. Because when you talk about governance also, you get to understand that at this point we country day, you don't only need somebody who understand the local politics, the governance system where they operate in, you also get somebody who get the respect internationally. Of course, we all know, say, Dr. Samora Kamara, even before he became the Minister of Foreign Affairs, he has been Minister of Finance, he don't work now IMF, most of them people who is now in peers. These are in colleagues. And we look at the country also, the agenda for change. when are the blueprint, we will start with development agenda with one of the brains then behind the agenda for change, as well as the agenda for prosperity.
Okay, CD, I will come to you. I will come to you. Lahai Lawrence Lima, you don't hear the records we CD Tunis they talk about Samora Kamara, and in say it go even difficult or not possible for even matcha with Julius Maada Bio. And talk about untainted 40 years good image.
Verily possible say you're not going to match the record of retired Brigadier Julius Maada Bio to that of Samora Kamara. Of course, I can understand with CDR Tunis. This is not the thing where people can always say sometimes you have to be very, very civil in your words. But I don't feel say way there for describe lie. When somebody lies, just lying. The thing we're very factually we're very evidence-based. Now the fact say Dr. Samora Kamara don't work under retired Brigadier Julius Maada Bio, right, in the MPRC government, of which retired Brigadier Julius Maada Bio don't supervise him, right? Talking about untainted, let's go back to the point, I'll take them from a very recent history now. Let's go back to the point when Dr. well, in fact, the Dr. Cesar Binde in question, when Mr. Samora Kamara actually applied for be president of the African Development Bank. And now we want to know as a country why make, of course, Mr. Samora Kamara not been get that appointment. I want for like CD Tunis also recall, or perhaps in Onula, just tell them this fact, say, the defeat director will be needed at this country when I've been British man. It be happen say, now I've been the British rep in the African Development Bank, where of course give a thorough or detailed analysis of Mr. Samora Kamara in corrupt nature, where in fact now one of the strong points at the way we make Samora Kamara not get that position, where in fact in him not even come upset, where not make him not get that position. Now, again, Samora Kamara gets one common descriptions where many people know him for. We don't call him 10%. 10%, you want for know what to make them they call him Dr. Samora Kamara, of course. Now, so people only call him doctor until very recently we don't come around in doctrine in doctrine self. Now, basically, when I say 10%, when I say Dr. Samora Kamara 10%, precisely every government contract you take to that Ministry of Finance at the point when he been named as finance minister, you have to like you go for agree first for like you get 10% before he approve that contract with the game. So talking about Samora Kamara,
but Lima, talking about 10%, talking about 10%, maybe somebody go actually say where the proofs.
Where the proofs?
Yeah, because somebody go just say anybody can wake up one morning and say Samora be they take 10% we ever get proofs.
The proofs are based on the circumstances very obvious by wrecking the economy of this country under and watch as Minister of Finance. Now, let me take further again to in character not being tainted as somebody being very corrupt. Even the 30% shares will be getting at the Sierra Rutai. Dr. Samora Kamara, now I still find it difficult really because of the facts I don't understand. Say the doctor says a question.
We'll come to education.
Yes, Mr. Samora Kamara actually connived with John Bruno Sisse, you understand, for sell the Sierra Leone shares now the Sierra Rutai. All of those things put together contribute for wreck the economy of this country. Where we
connivance, talking about percentage, Lima, I still they ask, say, where are the evidence?
Circumstantially, this government inherits a very buoyant economy, and under the watch of Mr. Samora Kamara as minister, today we are talking of austerity as a result of economic mismanagement, right? Non-prudent spending, what means say, Mr. Samora Kamara not advised President Nkrumah properly, right, as to how for judiciously spend we country money.
I'm Sidi Tunis. I come back to you, Lima, please. Sidi Tunis, their claims here where Lima they make seem for be very serious claims against your presidential aspirant, where over the past 2 days, we read the platform where una they sell him on is that this man gets untainted records. Lima, they talk about corruption, that na him even make them not be game that international position we in go for. And they talk about some 10% commission, and they talk about connivance for sell Sierra Rutai. It could seem that this guy or this man or this president to be not that clean as una the portray.
First of all, I'm glad you say claim. You understand? When somebody not gets anything good for say about a own candidate, a result to tainting good characters of others. We don't need at this country, Abdul Fanti Kambia, Dr. Samora Kamara in records don't speak for himself. When we come in as a government, we come in immediately at the time the world faced some of the biggest challenges. The global economy collapse. Of course, our economy face challenges. But amidst all that, because of the policies which Dr. Samora Kamara introduced, even where the global economy been they face challenges, how they be describe our economy? The second fastest growing economy in the world. If Dr. Samora in policies or not be the advice government fine, even where we be they face difficulties, we not be for able still stand on a sound economic footing. Let us not forget, Fonty, where we come in, the commodity prices they shoot up. We all know that one day, rice, oil, and all that thing and they. And also we own commodities them who been habopa. You know, the prices then fall at the market. We iron and others. But amidst all of that, we still remain on sound economic footing. If we not be get strong people there like Dr. Samora Kamara them, sometimes they don't refer this country as a failed state. Unlike when they were been the world economy been the boom and all, that the time we get the .com world, but still they mismanage our economy.
But again, somebody go argue, say all the economic records we una the bluff with, the country still there like how it is so.
How the country still there like how it is so.
People are still struggling to feed.
No, Abdul Fanti, it is not true. Let we go back to the records. We come in, we meet a country, with infrastructure being battered. We not get good roads. We not, and it take you hours for traveling from one point to another.
SLPP left governance in sound economic footing.
I'm coming. Land. We've been there. We infrastructure be completely battered. You understand? Electricity, zero. How they be describe it? The darkest city in the world. Water, clean drinking water, be limited. You know, we don't get water upline. All of these things, we take on them, challenges them, because we get strong people like Dr. Samora Kamara. These are records. We speak. In terms of, you know, all these issues about, Dr. Samora Kamara don't work in a reputable institution.
You still not respond to the allegations of him receiving commissions, him giving contracts to people who are not supposed to.
Now they come to so. Dr. Samora Kamara don't work in reputable institutions. Abdul Fonti Kabia. For talk about governance, you get for the in governance. Not to one person they give contract. We all know that one day in this country, not to one person they give contract. And most of the things that way Mr. Lima declare will come to infrastructure, that before you give contract, you get forget 10%. It is not true. Let we take the roads. When we come in, for example, the Sierra Leone to Guinea, Conakry Road, money be done there, then give the money to them party, then eat them. They don't make the road. EU back out, then go. When we come, we renegotiated with EU. Then come back, then give the money. EU bring them consultants, we re-engineer again. They were part of awarding the contract we awarded, and the road is done.
Lima, from we the come submissions, back, we come back to you, Tunis. From the submissions where Tunis they make, it goes seem like now SLPP government not be left this country in a sound footing as una they claim. We now una blame Dr. Samora Kamara as being at the helm of people them we don't wreck the economy.
Tunis completely out of touch with realities of political programs in this country, and I can understand, of course, as a new kid on the media block, I can understand how much you find it difficult for propagate governance programs. And so coming back to
why not succeed for tell we say maybe you are not familiar with governance. Because they say how could you take the responsibility of anything where they happen to the economy, you put on our money aid when Samora Kamara.
Yes, finance minister, right? Now they also control the fiscal policies of this country. When in policies then wrong, then the government programs wrong, right? Now Tunis not actually they in touch with governance programs. Now let me come to the issues. Saying that when somebody not gets anything good for say about a candidate, he resolve for say all things about other candidates. Honestly, you want for boost the profile of Samora Kamara. That is just the simple reason why you want for compare, right, the record of service of retired Brigadier Julius Maada Bio in this country with very much remarkable, very much excellent, you understand, to that of Samora Kamara, who has been a staff under retired Brigadier Julius Maada Bio, we don't supervise this country at a very critical moment now. He also go for make another false assertion, right? I mean, false claim that, of course, under we watch, we receive Baku money, we're not able to do something, the darkest city. You know, this is not a misnomer of the APC because they really not get ideals as to how to discuss governance programs. What are the programs we face them? SLPP inherits war in this country, a war that was brought in this country as a result of the mismanagement of APC, as a result of the victimization and bad governance practices of the then APC, where even lead to economic state of emergency in this country. Just that me data been there off. Like I don't pull Captain Strasser in statement when they take over governance in 1992, when they kick the APC out of power because of the bad governance. Okay. What did he say about the state of economy? What did he say about this country being tribalized? What did he say about the rottenness of governance in this country?
Okay, Lima, so
precisely what we want to say.
Make we come to the specifics about the two candidates, because we seem for the generalized governance.
Yes.
Then we come to the specifics. I want to ask you a question now on the circumstances where Madam become a presidential flag bearer. Somebody go say, after all, it was not an election as in election. And go seem like boku ala bide, people they say Madabio be not put in people them na the executive, we all be there na this country we read ala the day. So sometimes somebody go say, after all, if na be fair process, Mr. Julius Madabio no for emerge.
Before I come to that, I really try for just.
No, we come to that. The generals. I just want to we come to the specifics now on the candidates before we. Julius Madabio, the circumstances at which una elect him as the flag bearer.
The circumstances are as pure, in the world of democracy, pure, clean, and free from all encumbrances or being tainted.
Free from intimidation?
It's absolutely.
We get situations where somebody like KKY left the party because in claim say Madabio and people let they intimidate him.
When I joined the army, one doctrine where I learned at the army, you should never back out from every situation we face for make you deal with. And if you determine for change the world, you therefore face difficult situations and deal with them and crush them and try for go forward.
Even if people at the party be they sway from the ideals of the party, somebody for still there.
I think come before Ali Kaba. If my memory could serve me very well, it came before Ali Kaba. He had a space. Better than even Ali Kaba and others, because when can they come?
Space including refusing him entrance into the party office.
When can they come? People like Dr. Alfawuri and other elders of the party all in hand and take them through to the office. Okay. You never come for go visit a party office where you say you want for go visit. You bring in talks around, right? You bring in people with pepper spray and even other implements where, of course, inimical to security state.
Okay, outside of Kande Yumkela and Rukaili also left.
Fine, and now I'm clear on Kande for us, you understand. So if Mr. they come AYV, I come with weapon or certain things that we not allow now that gets you determine say drop them now.
So now let me go to Andrew Kaili. Andrew Kaili also left.
Now, before even we get to Andrew Kaili and retired Brigadier Julius Madabio don't go into a contest before now. Mada don't beat them all, right? In a very fierce contest at a point, Mada don't beat them all and he emerged the victor. Put that aside. Under President Kaba in watch, when they conduct the delegate conference in Makeni, retired Brigadier Julius Madabio came third in that conference, with the incumbent vice president at the point emerging as the first person, and also Mr. Charles Francis Magai coming second. And as a person who came very recently in the country after studies, he came third with Mr. Magai beating him with 1 vote. Okay. That tells you that retired Brigadier Julius Madabio, one, he's humble as a person, and as somebody who gets a spirit of endurance, you understand, for ensure say he achieving goal in spite of whatever difficulties.
They call power.
So, well, if that is what people describe, but then it shows leadership, it shows humility, it shows perseverance, it shows courage, right? Where, of course, these are the characteristics of a true and sincere leadership, of which retired Brigadier Julius Madabio don't demonstrate after in post-military life and after in post-governance life, as head of military government.
Okay, I come back to you,
so
Lima.
In record service in this country, exceptional and very unique.
I will definitely come back to you. See the Tunis. We don't talk a little about the circumstances where Madabio they end up for elect him as the presidential flag bearer. Make we talk about Samora Kamara in your own circumstances. We witnessed a situation where 28 people that they vie for this position here, so, and at the end of the day, we just get an announcement from one person, the president, that Samora is the flag bearer aspirant or nominee of the APC. Is that okay to you in a democratic setting?
Well, at the end of the day, we hear an announcement, but series of things, then series of processes that we go through before that announcement they come. Look, whatever we do as a party, we ensure, say, we do it within the legal framework of not only we party, but the country as well. We ensure, say, whatever we did, it is in conformity with the December 5th, 1995 Constitution, as well as the 1991 Constitution of Sierra Leone, from the constituency conventions all the way to district, to regional, and to national. We get, with 1995 Constitution, we clearly state, say, selection or election. That's one aspect of it. But also,
even before you go into the details, make we touch on this side small of the Constitution. Selection of a presidential candidate when the National Constitution of Sierra Leone not agree with selection of the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone. You know, things say that side day of the APC Constitution somehow contravenes the National Constitution?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to say so, because first of all, the Constitution of the APC is drafted and everything we do there in conformity. That's one aspect. And let us not forget, let's just take your mind back to 2002. Some members of the party sue His Excellency Dr. Anes by Kroma, say he don't breach provisions of our constitution. We all remember that. The Supreme Court of this country rules, say, the APC 1995 constitution stand and the party for always, until amendments are made, always forgo by the 1995 constitution. So as far as we are concerned, whatever we do, that make under the leadership.
So whether people na the party happy, whether they're not happy, na the constitution talk about
processes
selection.
And procedures were followed in a way we will ensure, say, we get consensus on everything.
What see the tune is between me and you and the public.
No, listen.
Between me and you and the public, 28 people them vie for one position.
28.
Some 28 people them vie for one position. You don't think, say, it could have been best if they put on the ballots?
28 people then vie for one position. But make I also tell you, say, the 28 people then we vie for one position, consultations happen a lot, which is not illegal in any democratic process. We get in other countries, we get what we call primaries, for example. Then they go through primaries, and they come to elimination. Of course, in this case, it was different because the National Advisory Committee of we party give the president the mandate for lead the consultation until we get to a point where we will get a flag bearer where everybody will agree on. And that is exactly what happened. And the consultations were done at several levels among the flag bearer themselves, regional executives, district executives.
But see the Tunis, if I agree with you, say the consultations also be happening, how come a good number, if not all of the flag bearer aspirants, this announcements become to them as a surprise? We witnessed a situation where some people almost fainted in that hall. Some people were weeping like babies. So which consultation will they talk about here?
Kabia, you get 28 people we contest for one position. As a party, 28, not forget, we go through series of, and they say one flag bearer fight the other. Because there were processes and strong leadership. That is one aspect of it. It is very natural.
Well, maybe intimidation was also part of it.
No way. It is also, no way. You know why? Because even among themselves, as flag bearers, they were meeting.
But we witnessed a situation also in Makeni, even after all the dinner, we witnessed a situation in Makeni, outside the presidency done publicly and they threaten flag bearer aspirants.
No.
For say after in go making announcements, anybody will cross in part and go show and say in as still the president until March 7.
No, that is absolutely not true. The president sent out clear warning that it ensures this country get a free, fair, peaceful and democratic elections, and that
and it talks say nobody not for crossing part after we don't make an announcement.
And not go allow
this is public. The president made it public.
Disturbances. And not go allow disturbances. In any case, at the end of the day, Fenty, it is natural. 28 people then contest. Some, yes, they go out publicly, they campaign, they get their fans. Somebody has to be aggrieved. That is the natural phenomenon.
Okay, now
whether elections or selections, somebody must have been aggrieved.
But elections will be better since somebody lost through the ballot.
Also, as a party, we had to ensure that we go in conformity with our constitution, which we did. And also, not forget, the NAC, we're also legal, give the president the mandate for lead the consultation process until we get a flag bearer, we're credible enough, we're competent enough, we're capable enough for continuing on with the good
okay,
work.
Tunis, well, maybe we just do some brief political peer review now. So, like Lawrence Lima, in a democratic setting, are you guys in the SLPP satisfied with how things happen inside the APC for elect the presidential flag bearer?
Please put few provisions inside the national constitution when our section.
That now this, but now for answer
yes, in
this
relation
question
to the questions we asked.
All right.
I just want to take you back to section 5 of when our fundamental provisions of the 1991 constitution. We talk about government and the people. It says the Republic of Sierra Leone shall be a state based on the principles of freedom, democracy, and justice. Now I say it's accordingly declared that sovereignty belongs to the people of Sierra Leone, from whom government through this constitution derives all its powers, authority, and legitimacy. Now, waiting section 35 to talk about the regulations of political parties and how they conduct themselves. Now, I just read them briefly, they are doing analysis quickly. It said the internal organizations of a political party shall conform to a democratic principles, and its aims, objectives, purposes, and programs shall not contravene or be inconsistent with any provisions of this constitution. Now, having said that, we can look at what the APC do by selection. Now, these selection provisions are vividly listing somebody will be one for go for Secretary General position at the APC. A driver talks that the issue of selection now be a temporary mechanism so them been do at a point where we've been there at a war that they're not able to access all areas. So by now we not for them they even talk about selection.
But it's still in the constitution as City Tunis does say.
Because it is still there, inconsistent with section 35 to where I just read to you. Now for we in the SLPP, when you take consistent with provisions of section 5 where I read, we say sovereignty belongs to the people. And now from the people you derive power. What do we decide for do? We go into an elections and allow the people's representative votes.
Okay, let Tunis just quickly respond to that.
Representative
City Tunis, Lima seem for the raise points as if una don't rob the power from the people where the power belong to by una selection, and he also claims say una kind of violate the national constitution.
Absolutely not. I just took a few minutes ago say Supreme Court rule on the constitution in 2002. If we be the violator, I don't see any way where the Supreme Court, when are the only competent authority for rule on constitutional matters.
But Lima say that selection aspect, it was just a temporal something.
How Lima go determine
before the issue before the court at the point was not on the section 35 to we talk about elections.
An authority on APC constitution.
Well, maybe it was a general comment on democratic principles. Maybe.
Let's first, whether all along they don't respect them. Look, let me come to
everything the SLPP they do. In a democracy, you think everything the SLPP they do, going by election in all of the elections, you think say na anything best practice where 21st century democracy for Fala?
I care less about the internal politics of the SLPP.
At the talk of best practice, if what's happening, is happening in the SLPP goes with international best practices of democracy.
Waiting, we concern about now for ensure say whatever we do, we stay within the confines of the constitution. And
but you are flouted.
So even if SLPP they violate the laws, we not care. Is that what you're saying? If even SLPP do something way not constitutional, you guys don't care.
In their party, that is their problem. In our national politics, it becomes a concern for us.
But if the internal party dynamics, if the internal party dynamics gets connection with the national politics, Lima just don't code the national constitution and in things say certain things so they do in contravention.
If to themselves, then violate their own constitution, we don't see the legal problems where they don't get because people within the party don't violate constitution, so they took them to court. You understand? That
Lima,
is why for
Lima,
us, that is why for us,
Lima,
we
it will
ensure that we stay within the
it will
confines
seem
of our
that the two major
constitution.
political parties all get records for violate their constitution.
We not violate constitution.
What's
No.
very important, now the
We
fact
not
say-
violate constitution.
Yes,
I want let you take that back.
Well, I say it will seem.
No. It is for us. We did not.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's very clear now, the fact say the SLPP, before we finally reach with conference, we get people who subject with processes to legal scrutiny, right? And we don't go court. The court don't look into the matter. At one point, the court says you were on the right track. You respected not only your own laws, but the laws of the land. Right? In the Supreme Court matter, in fact, that was part of the judgment.
But how come when our members them always they think say power is dominating and they're not a follow the constitution?
Well, fine. At a point when they get that doubt in mind, then go court. The High Court judge say the decision was consistent with the rules and regulations and also other laws, right? And when it comes to the appeal, in fact, at the High Court level, it was the High Court judge strictly followed the application of the law. When we come at the appeal court level, in the process of try for settled disputes and on shall say, then keep the party as a unit, then rule on the principles of equity, right? On the principles of natural justice, so that they will make sure say then keep the party together. But what's very much clear now, the fact say when we process to illegal scrutiny, it come out very clear say SLPP all the activities consistent with the laws of the land. Now let's tell you.
Okay, now Lima, even before you tell me, let me just talk about something also very important because I just they go by the time. Okay. Let me just talk about something also very important. NPRC. Julius Maada Bio was chairman and head of state in the NPRC. Dr. Samora Kamara was Secretary of State Finance in the NPRC. So people they ask the question, say, of all the people them where they come up for their positions here, so now ex-junta leaders Unagiri.
Dr. Samora Kamara was never an ex-junta leader.
He served in a junta regime.
Dr. Samora Kamara, of course, when you look at any country, people always they look out for the best.
Okay.
Because of in credentials, any government go on for work with them. Now that make you see it served for so long. It get clean record, it gets sound education, it gets sound experience.
But
this
clean record you serve in an illegal regime. A junta regime. What to make in records clean after serving in that regime?
The NPRC regime was not an illegal regime. Never. It had the legitimacy internally and external legitimacy.
How the NPRC came into power?
The NPRC came into
power.
The
ballot?
No. You can come to power through the barrel, right? Okay. In fact, in a bloodless coup that was widely accepted by the people of this country and that also had international approval. The NPRC, Captain Valentin Strasser, addressed the UN summit where give international legitimacy to the NPRC, and you get a lot of people.
And after that, Mr. Julius Maada be overthrown, and we make again the regime illegal.
No. It also been get international approval, of which even when retired Brigadier Julius Maada Bio been get a commendation by the Secretary of State of the United States of America, we commend Brigadier Bio on his decision, right?
So are you guys comfortable as being the leaders in politics in Sierra Leone?
What is very obvious?
For giving people with us serve in a junta regime. Are you guys comfortable with that?
What's me comfortable with? Now that Dr. Samora Kamara don't serve this country at the public service level, it gets a lot of experience in the public service. It gets a lot of experience in democratic governance because it don't serve in democratic government. It gets a lot of experience in not only international economics or economies, international politics, international diplomacy.
But
so when you blend the local and international aspect of how we country for go, that the only man will stand out with the experience.
But if we downplay Samora in service in the NPRC, make I just take you a little back. Make I just take you a little back. So the 2012 elections.
Yes.
Everybody or most people go agree with me say Julius Maada Bio lost that election because of the campaign that was launched against him because he served the junta regime.
Let me also.
So why now that the same people who campaign against Mr. Maada Bio for serving in the junta regime end up forgiving somebody who serve inside that regime?
Dr. Samora Kamara was a public servant, a fine Sierra Leonean with qualification. Then Guam position for serving country.
And he begets a choice. He begets a choice for serve or not to serve.
He did his service well. Now the MPRC set up. Let me come.
Wait.
No.
Tunis,
Come.
you say in doing service well, but that regime day, will be any allegation, say Mr. Julius Maada Bio in MPRC regime, then misappropriate funds.
I talk about the regime. I talk about the regime. Now in the MPRC, yes, now military government, you're right, absolutely. You understand, do a lot of atrocities. There was a branch in the MPRC, what they call the Supreme Council.
Okay.
When they take decisions, make most of the, he was never part of that Supreme Council. So even where he served his country. And it was a difficult moment also, now this country, he served, yes. We will not deny that. He served in the MPRC. He was exemplary in that service.
And the fact say he served in the MPRC in a junior position as compared to Mr. Julius Maada Bio. Could that
and he was not part of that governance body where they call the Supreme Council, when the decisions were made for carry on most of the actions.
So is it possible that Maada is more well placed to serve as a president than Samora?
No, Maada has no experience in democratic governance. I want to make you draw this line. No, listen. It is important that we know
absolutely inexperienced.
The military governance is completely different from democratic governance. Military governance, you deal with the rule of law, the constitution and all. The governance where Maada Bio get experience by, where they can then suspend the constitution of this country, then take me and you will write. So that be the rule we by decree. It is completely different. And that is why you see it's still the face difficulty when we survive
in as much as we the certain SLPP people them on the social media say Samora Maada Bio in Bobo, see the Tunis seem for to make a very significant point here. For say Maada was ruling by decree. And if you check in head of state status that same day, maybe Samora Kamara's financial secretary was more of faith with governance than Maada Bio.
Anyway, you know what? See, they really don't campaign for Maada. Absolutely.
Hey,
now, let me give you the point. By saying Maada Bio is inexperienced or now by military decree and rule, but then
I like that.
I can't, please. If you look at the manner in which the NPRC ruled this country, precisely under retired Brigadier Julius Maada Bio in watch, right? The characteristics of in leadership have been purely democratic than even this democratic regime under President Nkrumah. Now he talk about the rule of law. Then they rule by decree, then they respect the rule of law. Here's the situation. Go back to section 41 of the Constitution where talk say you never qualify for be elected as a president when you are not qualified to be elected as a parliamentarian. Now Dr. Samora Kamara is still a sitting minister receiving salary from the Consolidated Fund. If he is to stand today to be elected as a member of parliament, he'll be disqualified because he's a government minister. And now they don't go elect as a presidential candidate without amending their own constitution. Their chairman and leader, which is President Nkrumah now in the presidential candidate, ideally by the constitution, was supposed to be presidential candidate. Now then,
so are you saying the decision where Tunis they take was faulty?
Absolutely faulty.
And that it is possible that Samora Kamara is going to be petitioned?
Will be disqualified at the day of nomination, let me tell you now.
See the
now, as a presidential candidate,
they come to you. Would they end outside? I just want to let Tunis respond, please.
See, that make us say for talk about governance, you get for understand within our governance and day governance. The problem we Lehman then get, just like how they say, they don't get respect for structures, they don't get respect for rule of law. I be don't talk earlier on, I say, as far as we know, the competent authority for rule on constitutional matters in this country are the Supreme Court. Now, I don't know which country Lehman did, but we know, say, in Sierra Leone also, this issue be don't come up before, where Charles Francis, my guy, takes Solomon Berewa go court. And the Supreme Court been very, very clear in judgment for deal with that particular issue, the way Lawrence Lehman they come up with. So as far as we are concerned, we stayed within the confines of the laws, we not violate any constitutional provisions, and we go clearly by
Tunis
Supreme Court
for the
judgment.
act, say why you still bring up something where the Supreme Court we don't talk about already.
Tunis absolutely not seem to understand how the jurisprudence of Sierra Leone operates, right?
Okay.
A judge can decide a matter today, right, based on the circumstances where it faced, and tomorrow deviate from that particular judgment, you understand, depending on the circumstance. Now,
how much Maada Bio understand governance than Samora?
You're asking that question, my goodness. In fact, let me even come back to the issue where I've been trying to say before you take me off guard. Now, I say when it comes to governance issue, Maada Bio no understand governance issue. But the Samura Kamara where you the deny say ain't not been there the cadre of that NPRC level. At the point when Madabio took over governance, you understand, he was third in command. When means he was fully part of the council. He was the finance minister. Now from the chairman, you come to the vice chairman. The third in command was the finance minister, of which Samura occupied. And Samura has been supervised by retired Brigadier Julius Madabio. Madabio, who was a military leader, but then guided the democratic transitional process in this country from a military regime, you understand, to that of a civilian regime. Now, it tells you, say, even though he was a junta leader or a military leader, right? But then it don't also prefer a character, you understand, way outstanding than even President Nkrumah today, when a democratically elected president, will find them difficult, you understand, for even implement the rule of law by making a sitting minister, right, a presidential candidate that is not qualified to be elected as member of parliament. So that tells you, say, the fact that Brigadier Bio at a point in time in this country able to guide the democratic process.
Okay.
Take power
make we come out from local records. Make we come out from local records. Make we go international. Make we go internationally little, please.
Bio get a clear sense.
Make we go international, please. In Sidi Tunis introductory submission, and talk about the respect we the international community gets for somebody like Samora. And talk about in work na the Commonwealth. And talk about in work na the IMF. Can you match that with the respect we Julius Madabio get internationally, even when we say he cannot even go to the US?
What you know about understand? Madabio is highly respected at the international scene than Sierra Leone.
Even though he cannot enter into the United States.
It doesn't matter. You see, this now the myopism of Sierra Leoneans. For me, I want to make Sierra Leone my own United States for the very simple reason. I have all the resources it takes to make Sierra Leone. What is very clear here, you can move Sierra Leoneans here today, go to America, bring the Americans here. The Sierra Leoneans who want to come again to America.
So you think that international records no matter, international respect for a leader no important?
The international world gets maximum respect for Brigadier Bio than any presidential candidates in this country.
Including Samura Kamara?
Yes. Samura Kamara not get a clean record, my brother. Samura Kamara, very recently, if you follow the social media, there is an allegation around his personality for raping somebody's wife. You understand?
That is a very serious allegation.
That's a very nasty record against him.
But if we don't have proofs to those allegations,
that's what we are saying.
We can't keep saying them here.
No, I will say them, you understand, until it come out clearly and clear it, because it's on the social media, it's peddling there, and that's a very strong one.
Two things where Lima
record of Samura Kamara.
And they talk about some serious allegation of rape. And also they say, well, international recognition, not so in with a look for this election.
I say Madabio is highly recognized and highly respected by the international world for one
as compared to Samura.
By even far.
Yes, Tunis.
For the very simple reason.
Let tell you something.
Madabio
Please, I will definitely give you chance for land. I just want, please.
Madabio,
please, Lima, just allow me this. I will definitely give you time.
I don't tell you say them are not fit democratic governance.
You don't do me one or two, you make a mistake.
I will definitely make you come back
to this point.
Please, Lima.
You asked about Madabio.
Lima, just allow me to be the moderator. Can you please? Can you allow me to be the moderator?
Let me learn on this point.
Let me just handle this issue.
Oh, you know whether people confused? You know whether people suspend? They listen to the program.
We go definitely
come about Madabio international recognition.
Without some for that,
I don't tell you say it cannot be compared because Madabio make a very single decision in this country by taking power from civilian regime from
Lima is saying
over. You understand? To civilian regime.
Lima, your mic is off already. Just wait till I talk, please.
I don't tell you say them they use for rule by decree. If it's simple democratic process, they're not able to follow well. Now that they exhibit now. Look, me. Not go sit down here and talk about allegations concerning the characters of my flag bearer. Okay. We all know in records. And it will be a disservice to me current president. It will be a disservice to me party and disservice to even the flag bearer for make a consider and waste all my time to respond to allegations.
And unfortunately, we run out of time. So just take 1 minute for the final submission.
And just yesterday, we flag bearers send out a calling the flag bearer and ask for clean, and peaceful, and credible campaign. So because of that, let it continue for doing allegations with the market. Look, Fonty we don't make a lot of progress as a nation, infrastructurally, in terms of electricity, in terms of healthcare provision. You say, like, give me finance.
Yes. But quick one, people say they don't sabi Samora. In terms of
somebody don't serve for over 40 years in the country at all levels. You say you know Sabia, even the people and within the party, when our stakeholders get high regard for the man because of his track record. But look, we say we did as a country, we're not going to afford for go back. We need somebody with a sound mind, with integrity, with credibility, with experience, with education, with the leadership quality, and we're respected everywhere.
Thank you,
we don't want to get a president we banned for enter such a country because of the ban.
Lima, just wrap up in 30 seconds.
In 30 seconds, you gave him 2 minutes to wrap up. You have been very unfair here.
Lima, it was a question posed to him, and with a run out of time.
You left me in suspense, then you can't say in 30 seconds. This is completely unfair and biased.
Lima, you be always some 2 minutes with me for argue because you know what I take charge of the program.
30 seconds,
so let me just get 30 seconds and close, please.
What is very obvious?
Yes, sir.
All of the pointers where CD Tunis don't very clear, don't clear. It shows say the two agendas, which is agenda for change and prosperities, a failed agenda of Samura Kamara in your own record. Now, Samura Kamara approved $75 billion, you understand, for medical equipment. We no evidence, no day for sure for that. When the Ebola outbreak come now, it clearly shows that we are
$75 billion.
$75 billion. $75 million, sorry, dollars. $75 million. Where Samura Kamara approval for the purchase of medical equipment.
Which medical
No
equipment?
evidence, no day for showcase that.
Which medical
please,
equipment?
I think you give me a second. You want for respect.
Please. You get 15 seconds.
What is very clear now that the agenda for prosperity and agenda for change don't fail. And for continue in that means they want to take this country through corruption again, you understand? And what is very obvious, we did at a country where it polarized in terms of regional and political makeup and colors. And what is very obvious, now that we can't retire Brigadier Julius Madabio, we don't live by a word in this country for say at a handover power within 2 months it do and we need a leader now we get strong sense of discipline, you understand, for make sure say unite this country and drive this country forward.
Thank you very much, Lima. Now all that we get time for because we raise through now so we prime time news. That now Lahai Lawrence Lima from the SLPP and CD Yaya Tunis from the APC. We will ask the question, why the choices of Samora Kamara from the APC and Madabio from the SLPP. Now all that we get time for inside today's edition of the Hot Seat. Until we meet again next Thursday for another edition of Hot Seat, Abdul Fonsi Namine.
You're watching AYV Television.